You're about to learn why most people fail, why most people quit. Most people don't realize that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. It's in between the first try and the last win. There's a line I love from Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to reach the top of the world. He said, "It is impossible for the man who does not know what it is to fail to understand the man who does." That quote has inspired me on my toughest days. This applies to every pursuit we could have: weight loss, fitness, business, relationships, our happiness. The key to getting what you want isn't defined by how talented you are. It's not based on how smart you are. The biggest differentiator between those who get what they want and those who don't is this: most people lose the inner game long before they lose the outer game. The secret to winning the inner game is what you're about to learn. Most people quit when they should go all in. They throw in the towel when the going gets tough. In this video, we'll cover 3 lessons that will help you stick it out when everyone else is walking away. We'll look at the neuroscience of why we quit. We'll see how elite performers defy their biology. And we'll talk about what you can do today to shift the odds in your favor. Lesson number 1. Elite performers feel fear. They feel anxiety. They hear that same voice you hear, telling them to slow down, give up, or play it safe. The difference? They don't fight the emotions. They train their response. So here's the reality. Your brain operates like an electrical circuit board. Emotions like fear flood in and they cause you to freeze or flight, run away from the source of the emotion. But if you train your mind to recognize that emotion, you can wire your brain to override the knee-jerk reaction. Think of it like an alarm system. When a fire breaks out, the smoke alarm goes off. If you ignore it, the fire spreads. If you turn it off, you live with the danger. But if you investigate and you find the source, you can fix it. Dealing with emotions is much the same. Don't try to suppress them. Don't try to ignore them. Allow yourself to experience them. Then identify the source and address it head-on. Look at Sarah Hall. She was a marathoner who struggled to succeed. She'd place in races but never quite broke through until she shifted her mindset. Sarah had become so obsessed with the win that she was losing sight of the joy that running gave her. One day she went out for a run, and she decided to let go of all the expectations. She ran for the pure love of the sport. And something incredible happened. She broke the U.S. half marathon record by almost 5 minutes. The win wasn't the result of an intense burst of energy or a burst of speed. It was the result of running free from the pressure of the win. When you chase the feeling of winning, you might miss the joy of playing the game. When you chase the joy of the game, the wins might just take care of themselves. Lesson number 2. When you stop chasing the win, you become more resilient. And here's the irony. Winning is often what makes you vulnerable to losing. Here's why. After a win, your testosterone rises. You feel confident. After a loss, cortisol spikes. You hesitate. You doubt. This isn't about willpower, it's chemistry. Now imagine if you felt great after a loss instead of a win. How many times would you compete? It's like a drug addiction. When you feel great after a win, you're wired to want more of that high, but the losses make you withdraw. Here's the solution. Lower your expectations. When you step back into the arena, when you get back in the game, don't expect to win. Instead, demand of yourself that you simply show up. Call it a win for putting yourself back out there. This is called training your capability. A famous professor at Northwestern University conducted a study. He tracked children who were exceptionally talented in academics and in music. What made the exceptional students stand out wasn't raw ability. It was their relentless practice. They failed, they lost, they fell behind, and they got back up again, and they competed again. What's the lesson? Don't fear falling behind. Use it to fuel your growth. Lesson number 3. Don't fall for the trap of too much too soon. Now, the research shows us that the brain craves instant gratification. It rewards novelty. It demands stimulation. These are adaptive traits that helped us survive. Back in the day, if you saw a tiger, you either fought, you fled, or you froze. Those were the only three options. Today, we still get flooded with the same fight, flight, or freeze response, except now there's no tiger. Now there's a presentation at work. There's an argument with your spouse. There's a deadline at school. And your brain responds as if it's life or death. The problem is when your brain says run, but there's nowhere to run. When your boss asks for your opinion and you freeze. When your mind tells you to fight, but you don't have the skills to do so. So here's the paradox of peak performance. You must train your brain to crave discomfort. To do this, you have to start small. So here's my challenge to you. Do one uncomfortable thing today. It could be something simple, like walking around the block or skipping your daily latte once a week, or sending that message to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Whatever you choose, commit to it. Then do it again tomorrow, and the next day. Soon you'll find that your mind no longer reacts with the same level of panic. Why? Because you're showing your brain that you're in control, not the other way around. You're teaching your mind that you can handle whatever cravings come your way. And when you add up all the small wins, the compound effect takes over. Soon the discomfort shrinks. The leap from small to big becomes easy. Just ask Steve Magnus. He faced the ultimate inner game. When he landed his dream job as Nike's elite track coach, he discovered that several athletes were doping. He had two choices: expose the truth and risk his entire career, or stay silent and compromise his integrity. In that moment, he asked himself a simple question: who do I want to be? Fast forward 10 years, and Steve's story came full circle. He was vindicated. His integrity was proven. And that one question, who do I want to be, was the guiding light. We're all playing the inner game right now. You are right now. You're watching this video because you want to win. You're seeking that competitive edge. But here's the truth. Life isn't fair. Sometimes the deck is stacked against you. Sometimes you'll be outgunned, outspent, and outmanned. The question is, when that happens, when the going gets tough, who do you want to be? The answer begins with understanding your identity. That's the foundation of mental toughness. Let me tell you a story about a conversation I had with a former NFL player. I asked him what it took to play in the league. How did he make it? He didn't talk about physical prowess. He didn't mention size or strength. He talked about identity. He said, "It's the guys who walk around saying, 'I'm a football player, I'm a competitor. When the lights come on, I perform.'" He said that's who makes it in the NFL. It's not about how you perform under pressure. It's about who you decide you are. So here's what you do. Start with a small win today. Put yourself back in the arena. Ask yourself, who do I want to be? Write it down. Now your brain will associate that identity with the game. You'll see yourself not as fragile, but as capable. You'll see yourself not as a victim of circumstance, but as the master of your destiny. When you believe it, it becomes true. But there's one final step. And here's the secret sauce to resilience. Don't do this alone. It's not about willpower. It's about creating a support system. Text one person. Let them know you're struggling. You don't need to explain. You don't need to make excuses. Just say, "I'm here if you need me." Having that one ally makes a world of difference. Your brain will no longer be trapped in fight, flight, or freeze. You'll have the support you need to keep trying even when the results are not what you want. Here's the bottom line. The outer game is defined by what you see. Wins and losses, medals and trophies, likes and followers. But the inner game is invisible. It's the war in your mind, the battle between who you are and who you want to be. Listen closely. The inner game always controls the outer game. You don't need to be perfect. You need to take one small step. Consistency beats intensity. Identity beats willpower. And the inner game always controls the outer result. The choice is yours. Will you train your mind or let it control you?